Hello. Yes, my name's Sideways 8. I'm back. I finally got a better microphone. Now, let's see if I can get this bigger so I can get the whole thing because I love this painting. Anyway, I've had people review my previous videos and they said they're shit, but there's ideas. The problem is there isn't enough data backing it up, and they're not coherent enough. I'm aware of this. There are things going on where I do not have the time left, both concerning political events and personally. What I'm doing is a bucket list. I am saying what I want to say because that's what I feel like what I have to say is worth saying. Now, onto this. Any of those who are listening to this video are probably anti-SJWs. Now, you may have come across anyone who says, well, what's wrong with political correctness? What's wrong with social justice? And they'll try to frame it as being a nice person. Anyone who is evil. Well, here's the problem with political correctness. Political correctness is designed to shut down dialogue, to shut down free speech, to shut down an exchange of views between two people or two groups. The way you end a problem is you have to be able to say whatever you need to say to come through a resolution. Political correctness shoves it all under the rug and starts with the assumption that if we shut it down, if we don't say anything about the problem, and we get people to ignore it and shut up about it, it'll go away. Nothing can be further from the truth. The other thing about political correctness is it has a very black and white thinking. You're either with me or against me. Now, I'm not part of Gamergate, but I've heard about it. And here's what it is. You got one side that says there's corruption. We need to get rid of it in the gaming journalism. There's the other side that says anyone who speaks out against this is a sexist. We see this with Hillary Clinton. Anyone who critiques her on corruption is a sexist and must hate women. The problem with it is many people try to hide it as a way of looking good, virtual signaling. But when it can be used to shut down criticism and prevent exposing bad deeds, then it's not exactly good. The other problem is that with corruption, this gets back into not being able to deal with problems that you could do with with a society that values open speech. With political correctness, it shuts down issues and resolution between groups. It prevents discussion of certain issues, and it focuses all on issues that don't matter. And corruption matters. There are some people who think that getting the rights for gays is more important than corruption. Well, I got news for you. Right now in the Philippines, due to long-standing corruption, due to a broken system, they have, and I mean the voters, have elected a dictator or a quasi-dictator. They elected a strongman to literally start from what it sounds like, and I'm not sure if this is just smear journalism making him look bad, or is the truth, or someone lies behind. But the worst story says this man's out to commit genocide of all criminal elements, including drug dealers and drug addicts. He is now taking the pogrom Gestapo approach of cleaning up his society. Recently, what has happened is there is major corruption in America at highest levels. Hillary represents this corruption. So does Trump. The difference is Hillary's part of the establishment that wants to be the aristocrats that want to gain power for the oligarchy at the expense of everyone else. And these are the people who caused the 2008 crisis. These are the people who instilled or pushed for the surveillance state. These are the people who pushed for the banking crisis. And all these other very short-sighted, bad ideas that lead to nothing but disaster. So if they're wresting power from us, they're not exactly doing the right thing or responsibly either. Now let's just take Philippines, for example. All these problems were being ignored due to all the corruption. Now, in America, all these problems are being ignored due to political correctness, because if you say something about it, you're not focusing on the rights of blacks, you're not focusing the right on gays, you're not focusing on the oppressed people, so to speak. But here's the thing. When you have a corrupt elite that doesn't govern responsibly, eventually there will be a collapse in society. Now, all one has to know, when a society collapses to bad government and to corruption, has to look at the current situation in Venezuela, the current situation in the Philippines. Look at the situation the way it was during the before World War II in Germany. Look at the bad situation before the Soviet Union came along. Every time society collapses because of bad governance and unwillingness to focus on relevant issues like corruption, a society will collapse. And during those times, that's when minorities are become targeted by the mob. That's when they get cleaned up. So if you really vote for Hillary because you think she's going to give you rights because you're a woman, black or whatnot, realize this. She represents the elite that has been making the bad decisions since 2001. And that will lead to a collapse. And that will lead to endangering your life. I'm not saying Trump is any better. I'm pointing out we need to stop supporting elect officials and elect parties that are corrupt and take advantage of us. Because if we keep doing this, we are inviting our own doom.